Hey, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. Today we're going to do some unboxing on some new parts that I've got and some old parts that I've got. Most of it is all the suspension for the Nova, so let's get to unboxing, shall we? So the first item that I've purchased, the most recent item I should say that I've purchased, was drop spindles. I purchased drop spindles because the Nova, once I removed the front steel structure from the bumper, removed all the steel fenders, the hood, and all the materials that I've removed from it have raised this thing up 4 inches. There was that much steel. The bumper alone took 2 of us to get it off. I couldn't take it off by myself. And when I was doing it by myself to make adjustments and that type of thing to measure, I had to put one side of it on a rolly chair so that I could actually lift and lower it without having to have 2 people. So it probably came in, I don't know, 100 pounds, if not more. And that's including the steel reinforcement that it had built into it. It had shock absorbers built into it. The steel mounts that it mounts to. I mean, it was just a lot of weight. That alone raised the car probably 3 inches. So in order to compensate for the suspension on the Nova, I'm going to have to lower it 4 inches. So what I've done is a couple of different things. I've been buying parts now for well over a year. As many of you know, I buy them as I can afford them. The most recent purchases were drop spindles and coilovers, only because it's time to start getting on this thing. Now, I went the unorthodox route and I bought stuff off of eBay, and for the most part, I'm kind of surprised at what I got. I bought these A-arms, these are 2-inch drop spindles for GM, Camaro, Nova, and I think a few others. But they are really nice quality drop spindles. As you can see, they've got the bolt already in. You've got the nice milled surfaces. Everything is brand new. You can see everything's cut to fit. Really, really decent quality part. Not sure if they're made in China or if they're made in America. I don't think it said it on the box, but I bought them out of, I believe it was Seattle. And made in China, it says right on them. Bought them out of a company in Seattle. They were on, like I said, I bought them off of eBay. And one of the things that you can do on eBay is make an offer. With make an offer, don't be an idiot. And what I mean by that is, if the guy wants $110 a piece for them and you offer him $50, he's going to tell you, no, your price is now $150. You can make a deal on eBay, but use your brain. If you come in with a super low quote, I know because I've done it, and they came back at me with the regular price. So you definitely want to pay attention, but it appears to be a very solidly made part. It isn't spectacular, but judging from what I see so far, everything is machine cut just like it should be. And we'll know when we put them on here in a few weeks whether or not they're any good. So that's the first item on my list that I purchased off eBay, and like I said, they're $85, and I think the price on them now is $85. And for a pair of drop spindles, that's a pretty good price. So $85. So let me go get the next box. This next box was purchased from a company called Southwest Performance. It is an eBay item. This particular item, I paid $239.95 with free shipping. They've sold 800 of these, and they had good ratings. It wants me to add my vehicle, but they had really good ratings on the part. So if they're selling that many of them, it's got to be a halfway decent product. So let's take a look and see what we got. It was very well packed. I had to really dig to get this out. As you can see, it's a really nice piece. Very well made, very well, good looking polyurethane bushings, your polyurethane bump stops. Comes with your uppers and your lowers. I need to move it out of the box real quick. This is the second box in there. Very well packed, as you can see. I got it a little bit sideways for you so you can kind of see the packing and how it was done. Give me just a second to get it all open. Hopefully you can see it. Yes. And they're packed individually, so definitely adds a little bit of flair to it. And we've got our lower. Again, heavy duty, tubular, got your pockets, got your mounts, got all, pretty much everything that you need to put a tubular front end on your car. And these are pretty heavy duty parts. So definitely, I don't think we're gonna have to worry about. Again, we've got polyurethane bushings, polyurethane, everything well built. Got your spring pocket, pretty much everything you need to put a tubular front end on the car. All powder coated, really nice material. Again, for $239, you really cannot go wrong. Yes, it's made in China. Once again, when a guy's on a budget, guy's got to buy what a guy's got to buy. If I could afford the expensive stuff, like most of us in this world, we're kind of going through life doing what we can. The addition of eBay and Amazon have offered us the affordability to build something that we usually never could. So again, it is what it is. It appears to be a very quality part. You'll know for sure when I put it together, because this whole front end of this car, I believe, is made in China. So, all right, let's get to the next box. So there's our control arms, upper and lowers. Like I said, nice heavy duty, and they are heavy, as you can hear when it hits the ground. Put the uppers back in the box. Okay. Thick cardboard, but it still poked a hole in it. I think I poked a hole in it when I was moving them around. But again, very well made. And if you feel them, they're heavy. And like I said, at a price of $239, you really cannot go wrong here. And in a case like this, you could probably, do an offer. Now, granted, according to the website, they've sold more than 600 sets of these. So somebody somewhere is doing something right. So let's go to our next box, shall we? Now, our next box, also an eBay product. Go to my eBay purchases. Are coilovers. These are 67, 69 Camaros and 68, 74 Novas. If you don't know, Novas share a lot of parts with the Camaro. They kind of went hand in hand. When the Camaro came out, the subframe came out, and Nova moved from the first gen to the second gen to this style Nova that you're all familiar with, and away from the square one in the early to mid 60s. So a lot of their parts work together, which is really nice because Chevy really stepped it up with the Camaro, and aftermarket suspensions and parts like that were were abundant for them. So this one, let me move this box over to the chair so I can bring things out one at a time. So we've got our main box, and in our main box we've got our springs. Now mind you, these are coilovers, so this one's going to go into the top, and then the coilover goes on this one. So we'll actually put one together here for you too, so we can see the quality of workmanship. But you get both springs. So let's move that box aside. Bolts, lots of bolts, lots and lots of parts. You got your base. So we're going to need one of those, one of those. Tells you what each one of them is. It comes with a barcode that you scan, and it takes you to the instructions to assemble these, which I thought was kind of an interesting concept. Let's see, 785, 745. So those are both the same. So again, we've got this, one of those. This is your top for the shock. And as you can see, you've got to assemble them. They don't come assembled. And then, of course, your main shock. So let's pull one apart and let's see. I've opened one of these already, so. There's your shock body. They're sealed shut, so I thought that was kind of interesting. We've got our shock adjuster. If you do buy these and do put these on your car, make sure you use a ton of anti-seize on this stuff. So this is our shock body, so it goes down onto the shock like so. They say they don't come pre-built for you. You got to build it, which is fine. For that price, you can afford to build it yourself. And again, this is going to be our top. So it'll sit up here. And then it's also adjustable. And I'm just going to roughly put it together. I'm not going to put it together all the way, of course. And you've got two different methods for the bottom. As I say, once you put your spring in, like so, you can adjust your ride height down here. Now imagine there's washers in there. I haven't pulled anything else out, but that kind of shows you the way they sit. And you can adjust, again, you can adjust your ride height. I know that the top one in the Nova is just a hole, so you've got your whole collar there that goes on there. And then your bottom, there's different types, and these are made to fit multiple cars, just like everybody else's are. Doesn't want to open. Just a second to get this open. So on the bottom one, she screws on just like the top. Oops. Take polyurethane bushings. So she screws on there just like so. Screw it all the way on. There you go. Again, use the anti-seize on everything on these. And then you've got your bushings that go in, and then your pin. And the reason you're using a pin, and you're going to want to put both of them in there and then center it, because it's going to center on your lower control arm. And then this is going to go right into the pocket of the upper. We got one more bag. Let's see what that is. I'll bet you that's the bolt. Yes, that's the pin. So that pin, this pin actually goes in. Let me grab these out of here. So there's multiple ways that you can build these. If you're just going to use, get it out of there. It doesn't want to come out, of course, because now it's in there. So let's push her out. So again, you can run this type, which I believe is the proper one, but the instructions will walk you through it. Now, the only thing I don't like is the way it's grabbing a hold of the bottom of the spring here. I'm thinking I probably have this backwards, but I'll know more once I put it together. Whoops. Those go flying. But yeah, that's kind of your shock. And the reason they do it, see, it won't come out of there. You know what? It's backwards. So let me fix it so it makes sense. Like I said, I haven't read the directions. I'm just kind of showing you guys. I'll betcha that's the way she goes. That fits way better. And then this fits into the pocket of the spring much better. Just like so. Yep, that's how she goes. Like I say, use lots of anti-seize, and then again, this part goes right in through here, and then bolts to your lower control arm. So you get coilover shocks. We've got tubular A-arms. We've got, but for, like I said, for the price, you really can't beat this. I mean, when it really comes down to it, it comes apart pretty nice. There's your collar. Put our collar back in that package. But yeah, so we've got the coilovers. We've got tubular control arms. We've got the drop spindles. They also said that the tubular A-arms will also lower the car 2 inches. So that's giving us the 4 inches we're looking for. And then we can adjust our ride height using our coilover shocks. Other than that, I'm running the factory calipers and the factory the factory calipers. I do have slotted and drilled rotors coming because those will lower the temperature of that front end braking by about 180 degrees, they say. Whether it does or not, I don't know for sure, but that's what the world claims out there, is it'll lower your temperature on your front brakes by 180 degrees. I am for now going to keep the factory calipers. I will be pulling them off. Years ago, I was in the Duplicolor paint crew. They gave me a bunch of supplies to do the Nova. It's been years, but I have caliper paint over there, so I'm going to end up painting the calipers. I'm probably not going to go with red. Everybody has red. If I had blue, that would be great, but I've got to have something that does the extreme heat. So I will have those, and once I've got all that, I've pretty much got the full front end of the car with the exception of the calipers, and other than that, the whole front suspension will be brand new. So like I said, these were 300. Let me go back and grab it again. These were $368. So if we go in there right now, let's take a look-see. So we paid $85 for the 2-inch drops. $368, was it? Let's see. Yeah, $369. And then the tubular A-arms were $280, let's say. So that's $734 for a modern suspension with polyurethane bushings and everything, which the car has in it already. And I can tell you from experience that, yeah, all y'all who complain that they squeak, it's because you didn't put the lube on them. But if you put the lube on them, this thing handles like a slot car. I was really surprised how well the car started handling after we put polyurethane on them. But yeah, definitely a really good purchase for the price. For $734, you get the whole thing. And I've seen these A-arms alone go for over $800 a set. When you start adding it all up, you can get into the front end of a car, $3,000–$4,000. This car doesn't see enough of the road to warrant spending that kind of money. And if this does the job, what does it matter? And like I said, when we put it on the car, we'll know for sure about the fitment, and I will video that entire thing so that you guys can see whether or not these Chinese parts, as they say, fit the bill. So definitely a new venture, but yeah, these are definitely the way to go. And the nice thing about it is if these don't work out, I can always change these to more expensive ones because the springs are pretty much what they are. They're 500 pounders, and that should be well enough. The turbos that I've got will add a little bit of weight onto the engine, but once again, with everything that's taken off of it to lighten it, it should be okay. But we'll find out as we cross that bridge. But with that, throw in some comments. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, definitely give me a ring. I will put the part numbers and everything below in the links, and the links to all these different parts that I bought, so you know where to find them. The rotors are on their way now. I got them from Jegs. There's a link down in my description to the, or either in the description, or you just go to my homepage, papascustomcars.com, and there's a link to Jegs. When you do buy product from Jegs or Amazon or any of those guys, please go through my link to get there. That way I get a little bit of credit for it, and they know you got it from me. But Jegs actually had the best price on slotted and drilled rotors for this thing. The pair of them cost me, hold on and let me find it. So I bought 2 slotted drilled rotors. Fits anything from 67, 74 GM cars, left and right side, mind you. And the entire front wheel bearing kit. The wheel bearing kit was $65, and the whole total price was $226. So you take well, you got tax too. So shipping and tax was $15. The whole order total for the rotors and the bearings and their Timken bearings were $210, $220 including tax. So there you go. You got $900 worth of front end parts, and you've got a modern car with good braking. So good ride, good braking, and hopefully this all works out. And like I said, once we get to the build part, which should be within a few weeks here, I want to get this frame painted and everything done with it. I can't paint the frame until I pull apart the control arms and everything, and I don't like to leave my car where it won't roll. So we'll be whipping into this thing as quick as possible once we've dealt with that welding on that firewall. We'll get the firewall welded on next week, do a video on that, and then probably the week after or the week after that, we'll start attacking this front end and moving into these parts to show you, what you can do with a limited budget. So with that, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, do throw them out there. Definitely want to know them. And if you've used these parts before, definitely let us know, because I've gotten mixed reviews on it, but I mean, 600 plus have sold, so that tells me that the odds are pretty good that they're good. You'll be able to check it out. Links in the description. And like I say, if you want to wait a month, these will be put on and you'll know whether they fit your car. Again, these are General Motors, so it fits a broad range of vehicles. So again, like, share, subscribe. See you next week.